and welcome everyone who's joined us for the session about settling into New Zealand. I'd like to welcome you to a joint venture today between the Special Interest Group of New Zealand that deals specifically for immigrant engineers that have come to New Zealand in the South Canterbury branch, that since Joy and I have had many discussions about our experiences when coming to New Zealand. We wanted to share some of that today, specifically. Hopefully you'll have some real benefit from understanding what some of us have gone through, and perhaps hopefully that will make your journey just a little bit extra easier. So please, Joy, start your presentation. We're so looking forward to having you present to us.
Thank you very much, Dominic. It's really to be honored to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to organize this event. And so we know each other for quite a few years and I talk quite often. So, and I'm really happy to make this happen. As you can see on the screen, I'm currently chair of the SIGIE, the Special Interest Group for Immigrant Engineer and of Engineer New Zealand. And currently we have 15 committee members, and we're all immigrant engineers. And I believe some of them here and on the list to watch and Joy talking, maybe give some advice and for the future and a presentation. Myself is a hydrologist, and I moved here 2020, 22 years ago nearly, and the New Zealand and as a hydrologist, and had lots of challenges, hurdles, and now I'm settling down with GHD as a digital solution lead, and I did another degree in New Zealand in the full GIS, but I'm still in the last 18 years working with GHD as a digital person for engineering project. So here I'm going to share some of my experience and thoughts to how to settle down into New Zealand. So I'm going to talk about the 6 aspects you can see on the screen, and so I'm not going to read the one by one, and just we can talk through those in 6 areas. So first of all, people come to a new country. The first thing face is cultural difference, and the people way to talk and work and all different from us. So what the people think is normal, sometimes it's different or is not normal, but actually for other people is normal. They all from our background, how we grow up is related to our value and beliefs. It can be different from country to country, region to region, group to group, person to person. So you can see on the right side of the chart, and the map shows the general speaking from some Asian countries more like a hierarchy, and a status is important, and a Western country is more like a flat, and as people more can have speak their own, and it doesn't matter for who you are, we have our own opinions. So this those kind of difference is really a big challenge for people from the region and with the hierarchy in the country. This is the latest status of New Zealand census data and a diversity of New Zealand population. So New Zealand is a very culturally rich country. And you can see here, according to census 2018, we have 180 different ethnic groups, and we have 170 speaking language and 157 religions. So it's a really big diversity. You can see also the Asian growth in and the people in the Middle East and Latin America and Africa, they're all really big population growth in the 33 and 35%. And also we have overseas bonds 35%. So from this statistics, we can see how diversity in New Zealand, people are celebrating their festival each other. So because they come to a country, it's as one. So the cultural difference in the working space in New Zealand, generally speaking, the New Zealand is really employees have a high acceptance level for different cultures. People can respect each other, and they can have dressed their own culture during the festival time, and bring their own food and to the office, and they have somewhere traditional dress, and also they can have a different group to play together with different religions. And employees encourage people to attend a social activity as well, particularly a social event. So with those events, you can see the difference, you can learn from it. Typical challenges for new immigrant engineers to New Zealand. So the biggest one will be the language barriers. And I think all of us have the experience that, like myself, And when I came 22 years ago, I even not dare to pick up the phone sometimes. And I would just hesitate, yes or no. On the other hand, there are lots of local slangs to learn. Like here, I put a snow down there. And basically I said, oh, I thought people in a snowfield to do skiing. Actually, it's not really. That means you're very busy. And also the way to do things. And normally New Zealand is pretty quiet and relaxed and not much hierarchy, as I said. And you expect everyone be treated fairly. And sometimes people like have jokes. And don't take it too serious. People joke. That means normally people joke with good relationship. And also New Zealand is a country not like the people boasting with big ego. So keep humble and learn something from sport. And it's really the rugby country. And when you talk about those, and the people are easy to feel connected. And as a professional, move to New Zealand is a really important thing is and the new knowledge. So we normally, and lots of people move to New Zealand, they are quite high and senior engineers in overseas, or even senior management roles in overseas. And then come to New Zealand and they want to find the same position, sometimes very hard. But I always believe the golden always shining some days. So if you really and competent and come to New Zealand, think about what is different rules, standards in New Zealand. And if you really like have a high level overseas experience in high senior level, you come to New Zealand, even you start with a low position, you can grow up very quickly in your career pathway. How to deal with a cultural difference? And I talk here as 4 aspects called soft, and stop judging people who are different from you. Observe the difference and learn something new, and find something in common to make a connection, build a relationship, and in particularly build a trust through the respect of each other. New Zealand is a very small country and a very small community engineering. And the trust and your reputation built can carry your whole career, your life in New Zealand. So why we stop judging people? It's really important to have an open-minded towards new culture. And don't think it's wrong because people different. And we will have an open mind and we have a curiosity rather than judging people. And also when you see people different and you can see, is there anything I can learn? And regarding to their culture and how to talk and the dress or the food. And with those in different things you learned and make yourself even more enjoyable. So like myself, some food I never had before I moved to New Zealand, and now I enjoy food from all different countries. This is one of the aspects, and we can learn from different and enjoy it. Also, it's really good to find something in common to make connections. And the people are different, but to come to a certain degree, we are very similar. Because we are all human. And then we want to be loved. We want to love people. We want to commitment. We want to caring. And then we want to value. We want to be recognized. And all of those things, we want to make sure ourselves we have value for the society. So then whether those connections and find something in common, and then communicate well, make friends. So then basically help you really settle down, particularly make local friends. And then you can not only learn language, also learn how they talk and how they do the things. So in a more you're connected society and you'll feel like a more part of a society. And we talk again here about the trust and respect. So the trust is built, takes time. And but damage the trust is very simple, take a second. So build the trust is do what you say and say what you do. And whatever people talk to you, and it doesn't matter what their color, age, religion, and respect all different kind of people. Sometimes people very easy to respect the up hierarchy. Actually, we have to respect everyone. We never know the person will become who in the future. So this is really trust is the key element. Like here says, if people like you, they listen to you. But if you trust you, they do business with you. Not only that, actually, you become a lifelong friend sometimes. And it's really build the relationship, help us ourselves, health as well. We can talk later on. So what to do in your employment and career development? actually there's two aspects as with our career growth, and doesn't matter what level we are. Learning is lifetime learning now, and because of technology and rapidly change all the time, if we think we are up on the top, we know everything, there's no room for us to grow, to learn. So what is keeping the technical competence? It is to make sure you can deliver what is required and beyond. I always tell people when I talk, what is the best technical skill? So the mean for me is, if people ask you do 1, 2, 3, how can you think I can do 4, 5? So you make sure you meet the requirement and beyond. That's a way to make yourself in the engineering industry and can be a go-to person. Sometimes people think it's hard to find a job or hard to be lifted in my career, be senior or even manager. Actually, the most important thing is make sure we're ready and we're employable and we're ready for the position we want to go. That's the key thing. Rome doesn't build one day. So it takes time and nothing will be overnight success. So that's why it's really important that we think what is real technical competence. It's never ending. It's kept learning our lifetime. So when we get a job and come to a new country, and it's really, really important to understand the scope, what is really required, and also deliver the product in high quality on the time and the budget. So this is a thing, and it really comes from holistic overview your skills, not only technical, also soft skill we talk about after the next slide. So as a technical engineering, and people think as follow exactly, of course, they follow those kind of rules and standards things, but also be creative. How can do better? As I said at the beginning, first point, how to get 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, even 7, 6. So that's you become the technical leading in the industry. That's what should be your goal. It's not easy to achieve, but when you work on it every day, every week, every month yourself, you become better person every day, you will be there. And when particularly people is worried about ask help, people think ask help is vulnerable. Actually, ask help is a strength. Because in a way of human, none of us know everything. And ask help and make your improve an opportunity to improve yourself. That's why I always highly recommend people find the mentor. Myself, I have quite a few mentors. And I regularly catch up from them, I learn from them. In the technical growth, and also with continued learning, so we talk about it already, but you need a goal to achieve. And the goal is touchable. Not so I'm a junior, tomorrow I'll become a chief engineer. So the goal is what skill I will learn, how long take me to become familiar, and lots, and New Zealand it can be certified, it can, and a chartered engineer, set up those goals, and also have a long-term plan for your career. And like where I want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, and then every single step is towards your long-term goal. And this is actually from some Chinese philosophy here. I'll put it here. Is I really like this. If you like to see a butterfly as your dream, and please plant for flowers. So the butterfly will come when the flower open. That means you work hard, and it's really towards the goal, not to focus on seeking the goal, because sometimes it's really hard and to get to the really want to. But if you focus on make yourself better every day and focus on your technical skill, softer skill, and the butterfly will come to you. And when flowers are open, when the time is ready, you will be there. You will be recognized. And I want to spend a bit more time talk about softer skill. Actually, here you can see lots of bullet points here. And I'm still hiring in digital GIS people, but with my a year experience interview different people. Quite often, the soft skill becomes the key to success, and it becomes an employee. And because technical skill is can teach or train in a pretty short time, reasonable a year, half a year, month. But the soft skill is really takes longer time, because the soft skills, even the first thing you want to learn is attitude. I want to improve my soft skill. This is attitude must have. Then also the soft skills from your background is cultural difference, how your parents and brought you up, how your school, your teacher, and how this really is a lifetime in learning the soft skill. And of course, technical skills of lifetime learning, but the soft skills are quite different because soft skill can gradually improve. Sometimes you cannot even see it. And the technical skills, you can see it, you're going to certify it, you get the skill there. But the soft skill is really hard to actually evaluate it. So within those soft skills, the most important one is communication skills. People think communication is easy, just talk. It's fairly hard, actually. It's not how much you talk, it's how you talk. And before you talk, you think. And also listen well. And people, this is really probably fairly hard. And mainly that's because people like you to express their own ideas. But listen is also the way to respect another person. So before talk, when you listen well with your whole body, not only from your ear, you listen your body, your heart, you really fully understand what other people mean. Never talk over from other people and give other people opportunity to explain what they think. So in here, I want to mention a little bit about the awareness. So the communication lesson comes to self-awareness is base element. And we are human, and we all have strengths awareness. If we have self-awareness, we know who we are. And on the other hand, have self-awareness, we know what we say, how to affect another person. We treat people we like to be treated, and we treat people they like to be treated. So, and practice your listening skills, communication skills, and if you really like, I went to the Toastmaster class, and I was in Auckland everywhere. If you can join, think you are like to improve my communication skills, will be really beneficial to join the Toastmaster, and it's really for community public speech. And as I said, it's not how much you say, it's how you say. And also be humble. It's really, really important. And normally, the more we know more we don't know. That's really interesting in aspect. Lots of successful people are very, very humble because they know always someone better than us and always someone smart somewhere. And the respect we talk about already, and from the culture side, and respect everyone around. Don't choose who should I respect or should not. Even we should respect people not deserve it, because we respect people is our attitude. If somebody people very rude and we still respect, and people are different and don't lost our control, and like the last movie in the Oscar, the person in the Will Smith and go on the stage and hit like that. It's really very hard to keep calm, but it depends on us. We'll have a peaceful mindset and keep calm as really kissing whatever happened. And respect is our attitude, as I said. Also, as a career development, the can-do attitude becomes really important. Some people think, I'm already senior, why should I do simple job? Actually, this is quite a different mindset. Simple job, you can see how to better. When you're senior, complex job, how can they make it easier, simple to do? So the can-do attitude is really brings you the team player and also build a relationship with others. And also be adaptable and the resilience. Because nowadays technology and a change and COVID-19 changed the whole way people do communicate and in engagement, and make sure we are adaptable and resilient and to cope since it happened, and be brave enough and have our say, be brave enough and face our mistake, be brave enough and challenge yourself. Like here, the picture says here, do you know what the foreign accent is? It's a sign of bravery. And people sometimes thinking I have accent. People might don't like me because I cannot speak good English. Be brave. And not many people really worry about your accent. And rather than they're going to teach you, that's my experience. I learned lots from my Kiwi friend. I still have very strong accent, but I'm confident. And also be persistent. Never give up. Quite often, the success and the fail is only one step away. And the successful people never give up. But that doesn't mean if something you always kept doing something again and again, then never give up as a goal, how to make yourself toward the goal and never give up. In the Western Pointer and the University of American, they have a called grit. The people is comes to resilience and that's really how you make yourself stand up and even fail. The fail you learn from fail. Don't get because of fail, because always in one day and something you can achieve, I believe. But of course, each person have a different level of the you can achievement and the happiness, the satisfaction. But the persistent is really the way, and keep doing again and again, and how to better make your success. Open-minded and seek the construction feedback. This is very, very interesting and aspect. I watched one video from the richest person in the world in Musk and about the hard thing he faced. And during the interview, he said, constructive feedback is very, very hard to take other people's feedback. I had another meeting with one of you in a graduate in our company this morning, actually very, very interesting. They're going to talk about feedback. So the feedback is, and people so easy to get offended. And sometimes people think it's a personal attack. Actually, if we open-minded, and because we know human, we have strengths and weakness, and the feedback help us improve our weakness, basically. And when we receive feedback, we keep calm, ask ourselves, is this area really I should improve? How? And also take actions. So honestly, when people give you constructive feedback, is lucky to have that, because hard conversation, conflict, those kind of things is always hard for human being to and face. But in our daily life, everyone, myself also, always face sometimes hard conversation. And because we are thinking differently, we each individual are different. With open-minded and a big gratitude, and when people give us feedback rather than feel offensive, it's really the way help us grow. And the same next one comes to time management. So sometimes people have said, okay, I really want to do this, but I don't have time. Always think the time is how you make it. If you really want to do something, you can make the time. The most important thing is the polarization to what you really want to do, because we cannot do everything, because we only have 20 hours a day. And then we have to learn say no for something we not really needed to do urgently. And when you do things, keep focus. And nowadays, in social media everywhere, the Facebook and the Twitter everywhere, the information comes to us. But I keep focus when you do things. Like myself, during the working day, I put my phone on silent. I don't answer phones, and I know if something really urgent, and always a way to contact me, other ways, emails and all those things. But you still can check your phone regularly, like every 2 hours. And if something urgent, you can reply. But don't look at your phone every 5-10 minutes. Don't look at your email every 5 minutes. And don't look at the Facebook every an hour, So focus what you're doing and really make your time is much more high utilized. And then the next one, pay attention to detail. And the thing is interesting, people say, I'm the person pay attention to detail, but it's really need evidence and action. And I'll receive one CV, the person says, I'm a very pay attention to detail person, Then I found lots of spelling mistakes and there's lots of grammar mistakes. You know, those kind of things is really, when you say that, you should show the evidence you are and that. And pay attention to detail is really the way to achieve high quality for deliverables. And to do a check. Ask other people to check for you. It's not really find your fault. It's with a fresh eye to help you make a better product. And then working with the teams so nowadays, and very hard to have one person achieve a bigger goal. And as a team, as a more, if you have, you know, bigger project, most time the project is a team project, and with different skill set, and work together to finish and achieve the best output. And because of that, the sharing knowledge become really important, particularly when we are senior. We're sharing knowledge with juniors and help them grow. That's really, and to build up our soft skill, to lift us other people become better person. And we talk about more on the leadership skill, and also so important to engage with social group and build a networking. So it's really the key, one of the key points for your career success. So the because New Zealand is so small country, and sometimes quite often, how you grow your career development depends on who you know. And that's also the fundamental and help you grow and find your weak spot and to work on that, become better person. So people always think I'm good on that, I just do that. Also, if we can focus on how can you improve weak spot, and you'll grow much faster. So the last second one is called developer leadership skill. People always think the leadership skill come to position titles. Actually, it's no. Position title not automatically give you good leadership skill, is but to give you chance to demonstrate your good leadership skill. So leadership is, I said, on the sharing. So if you have chance to help other people become better people or person, you're a leader. So leadership is a key skill is to help the other people's success. It's not to show how awesome I am. Help other people become how awesome they are. Leaders need a follower. So the key element for leaders need to be kind, empathic, and compassionate. That's really the soft skills so important. So lastly, we talk about emotion intelligence. Basically, emotion intelligence covers all the aspects we talk above. But here we are just put a few important here is called self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. And then in particular, we talk about empathy, kindness, and compassion. Particularly with COVID-19, this becomes more important. Future is leaders require more those kind of element. I really wish you can get you think the soft skills. I'm really the way I'm improve. I want to be better in the soft skill like myself. I read every day. I read a lots of articles from Harvard Business Review and many articles and talk about how to improve your soft skill. And it's really the long journey on this direction. And I talk about something typical job seek in the CV and the interview, and the time is 30 minutes, so enough. And so about the job seek is LinkedIn has become more important now, and with the LinkedIn and be write to yourself, be truthful, but the highlights what you're really good at. And when people got a CV, like I got a CV, and the first thing I was go to look at the LinkedIn, and also make sure the LinkedIn is matched to your CV and your experience, your title, those things. And talk to your friend, family, and any other contact. Like myself, found this job 18 years ago is from my classmate. When I finished my study and on the way to University of Auckland, my classmate and he's finished early because I was carrying on my master's, and he said, I'm leaving the company and are you interested in the position? So I said, yes, why not? I sent a CV and 2 weeks later I got a new job. New Zealand is very small country. So talk to your friend, family, other contact and the social groups, those networking. You never know who's gonna tell you where opportunities. Of course, And the companies always publish the vacancy on the internet and the SIGIE, those things. Also, it's really important to join the professional association. I really like to join and the SIGIE and all other branch and on the engineering New Zealand, because we have a lots of training, lots of activities. As a big opportunity for you to connect with professionals and on your own professionals as well, and attend the workshops event. And of course, in online advertisement and recruitment agencies also help you. So when we do workshop and we ask recruitment agents to tell us what they important and what the element they're looking for, those things. And the recruitment is also really can tile your requirement and to make sure they meet some vacancy on the market. But it is really it's a harder job, but it's really need action. And what do you put and what do you get? So the tips your CV is, and this is a key element is each job will be different. So customize your CV for different job applications. And I really quite like people have very short summary on the top of their CV and also tells the goal. And don't make, I saw some junior people have 2 years experience and send me CV have 5-6 pages CVs and not too wordy, and keep your CV short, clear. And because the hiring manager not really don't spend a many time on the CV, sometimes I can 2 vacancies, they can receive 50 CVs maybe, and sometimes only like a 6 second, 10 second, and look at your CV. So highlight what are you good at. Don't do to be too wordy, and also avoid to use those words. I'm a perfect, I'm a best fit, those words. I had one CV said he's the best fit, and I went to the tech test, and some even in a very basic tech still doesn't know. So it's really, and make sure when you use the word, also use some keyword. Some bigger company might use software to pick up a keyword. Make sure the keyword related to your discipline will be there, and not to oversell and undersell yourself. And because if you oversell, will be found very easily. And when we do interview and take a test, and when you undersell yourself, and you lose opportunity to be shortlisted. And before sending it out, ask experienced professionals for reviews, in particularly check the grammar experience, contact details, the keywords, and make sure put your phone number there as well. And sometimes people CV doesn't have phone number, doesn't have email address. So just to make sure that get experienced professional check it. So overview, your CV is the storytelling about yourself. So how you tell story about yourself is so important. So the tips for interview, so very, very important that you're well prepared, and particularly search the company's website about some project, some the company's values. So then you have some, when you ask questions or when you talk about, and the person interview feel really connected. And also just professionally and be on time, listen well and think before answer, and speak slowly. And don't protect and understand. If you don't understand, you can answer a long question, you can give a wrong answer to the question, and you lose opportunities. And be honest if not knowing answer. But you can say, I don't know, this in things, but you can say I had some similar experience or something like that. But definitely not to predict you know it. People can spot it straight away. One thing here, we are talking about communication skill, about your soft skill. So answer the question directly. Don't talk around other things which not related. And focus on the question, and your answer must be related to the question. Otherwise, is people going to doubt your communication skill. And be confident and sit straight. Don't look around. Keep eye contact, particularly when face to face. And this really shows your overview, the body language. When you have an interview, make sure you have a quiet place for online interview, and also prepare some question and to ask. It's really not one interview is not one way, and a find a job not one way, both. So you want to looking for company you want to work with, and the company want to look at someone is really they can deliver and I want to hire. Is to put the monitor is not a one way, it's two ways. And let's talk about the well-being. And so because nowadays the COVID-19, so the well-being is actually related to our career development. And it's so important that we have a healthy body, we can do other things. Well-being is basically related to your body, mind, and spirit. And it's really connected with everything. So in China, and we have a say that health is number one. So when you have number one, so when you add more zero, so become more value. If we don't have a health, doesn't matter how many zero you added on, basically it's still zero. So we are people normally think well-being is physical. I'm not sick. I'm energetic. I'm happy and sleep well. So those are physical well-being is that we can see actually, and be active. We want to make sure we're physical, health, be active and go out often, and make sure have enough sleep, eat healthy, and find some hobby, and take a regular break and from away from desk and when you're working and find a working and a life balance. Actually, it's interestingly, the physical well-being is really affected by our emotion and mental well-being. So people sometimes thinking I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Actually, those kind of attitude is affect our physical well-being. So when people frustrated and really stressed, the first thing normally comes, they couldn't sleep well, they couldn't eat well, and then affected the body, the whole physical. So how to make your way of health and the be positive is probably the key element. And the positive, they have said, not a protected, if not okay, not a protected okay, but to see, not to lose hope. So the people sometimes say is kind of negative positive, because they are protected, everything's good. Not to do that, because we are human, and we are human. We all have body, we have thinking, and the main thing is it's okay not to be okay. I accept myself, and I'm sad. Of course, we are human. We have feeling. I'm upset, but we will look at another side, and don't lose hope. I still say is when you think that you change your mindset to be gratitude. So how to keep positive? The gratitude is the really important way to make us positive. And because the gratitude, if everyone have, you can find one or two things for the day or week, your gratitude. Even like it's not raining, I've got the sunshine, you have clean air. I have a, somebody smile to me, and I had achieved something I haven't conquered for a while. Anything you can be gratitude. People sometimes say, I don't have shoes. And then we think about some people don't have food. So gratitude is we focus what we have. So it's easily people, really think always what happened previously, the history. And when we think too much what happened previously, make us depression. And when we think too much about future not to happen, make us anxiety. So that's why yesterday is a history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today is present. That's why we call it a gift. If we can focus on the today, present, what we have, even I feel great to live in New Zealand, and we can go often, even although lots of COVID-19 case, but we can go often outside, though in a clean air, clean water, those kind of things, always I feel gratitude, and be mindful, and just go with the flow. We only can change what we can change. We cannot change what we cannot change. If we cannot change, we have to let it go, and be ourselves, and be our true self, and that's really the key element, and also for be happiness. And we talk before stay calm, and it's really important, very hard, but it's really important. When you really feel, angry or, frustrated, breathe yourself and sit back. What I can do and why, how can I do, make it myself more come, how can is there a solution for the problem? I always believe solutions more than problems. That's why we are in the modern life, and we are every day, every year, and new things coming. And also be confident. And I said of doing interview already, we have to believe ourselves. So International Women's Day, we talk about lots of bias. All people have bias. Everyone have bias, myself. The main thing is we have to broken our own bias first. How we think about ourselves. Are we worth it? Am I good enough? And what's my value? If we even cannot believe ourselves, how can other people believe us? So we have to really believe ourselves. I'm worth it. I know I have strengths, have weakness. I'm gonna work on it, but I know I have value. Believe myself, be confident. Also, it's very important to connect with friends and the communities and to build a happy relationship. So when we look at in our life, what we really pursue is a happy life. So we got a bigger title, lots of money, bigger house, and we have everything good, and we're happy. But the happy is not really every day, every time, always up and down. And the happy life is really how it's our choice, basically. We can choose because some people want to say, okay, I want to that, I cannot achieve it, I'm unhappy. But it's quite often, even we achieve it, still not happy. Because the happy is our feeling, is from our internal, the happiness, our gratitude. And that's why here is actually the Harvard University did some research about the people's health, longevity. Actually, the happy relationship is a key element and for people's longevity and even for the achievement. So you can see here, happiness is linked with greater health, longevity, and well-being for individuals. Happiness contributes to well-being and job satisfaction, to success in life and business, to happiness at the home, and be positive to positive outcome in community or society. Happiness is our choice, from Tracy. Actually, the people come said, it's egg and a chicken. Should it be happy first, achieve those, or achieve first and happy? As happy is our choice. And if we even we're not happy, if we have some happy in a way to, find something in a gratitude, your mindset can change and your day will be different. That's why I said, like myself, when I saw the, clean, the green trees, see the birds and the clean air, I always feel gratitude. That's the thing. You can find anything and it depends on what you want to make you happy. It is your choice. So people nowadays with COVID-19, and the people are so stressful and really, really affect our health. And when the change is stressful to stress here to another element of the aspect. So every coin to, the coins have two aspects. Everything have always good side, bad side. Every job have something you enjoy, love, with something you not enjoy, love. Depends on how you see, how you do. If we focus on ourselves and lift ourselves every day, technically and the soft skill, it's our life, it's our choice. Our life is how we make over it by ourselves, basically. And it's really our attitude and our choice. So smile when you breathe more than you think. So keep a smile. If you can look at the mirror every morning, smile to yourself, and make you and the mood will be different. Talk to a kind and compassionate friend. And quite often, when you're not happy or upset, you got to follow your, you get out and you talk, and it's really helpful. For myself, I like reading. I really, really desperate reading. Anytime I'm reading, I forgot everything, basically. And also help me understand the many things. So your reading is basically you're talking to a wise person, wrote this book. And basically talk to the wise person and help you grow, especially and yourself. So relaxing, you could do the music and enjoy the walk, go to the park in the fresh air, see birds, see nature, and look at the flowers, and keep socializing with positive people. Very interesting. if you're positive, you attract positive people because you have positive energy around you. And keep a distance with negative people because we cannot change other people's attitude. How other people think about of us, is really we cannot change. And some people said it's none of our business because what other people think of us, we cannot change it. We only can change ourselves' attitude. And stay strong and remember your words, you can do it. Believe yourself. And that's really and a case into full and talk about the well-being. So settling down to New Zealand, this is very, very interesting. And I found those chart and graph from the Immigrant New Zealand. And anytime I do a presentation, people love it. So when you find a sense of belonging and see New Zealand as your home, you're settled. So here is about the settlement curve from the Immigration New Zealand website. When we come to new country, actually even we come to new company, this is the same. We always start with excitement. And we're excited. And then, of course, some bad experience and a small, large, and make frustrated, angry, and not sure, and hesitate. Actually, you're fighting, bad feeling. And when you, over those periods, you feel more settled. That's how I said, it's not easy to settle a new country and a new company. It takes time and it needs effort. And our emotions change over time. It's very common. But one thing is never give up. And anywhere on the earth, doesn't matter which country, which company, always better thing, good thing around. When you focus on the positivity and make sure, and you're the person you worth, and your glow, every day become better person. On the other hand, importantly again, you help other people's success. Never ever take other people credit. Never ever bump bridge. That's how the way you glow and help you settle down. Some people take a short time, some people take a long time, but as sooner or later, you're gonna settle down somewhere and you love, make you feel fulfilled, and as you're happy, you enjoyed it. And I really wish you a successful journey and to New Zealand. So you can see here is, so here started with, and this is also New Zealand language, started something small, and you're in a new employee, and you have a children's school and lots of things for settle. Always lots of things in the beginning, but ask help. And lots in organization, New Zealand, help people. And, as engineer, come to SIGIE, come to branch, come to Engineer New Zealand and ask for help. And you find a job and your children settled, the partner settled, and engage more community. Don't just stay home because it doesn't matter how awesome you are. If you don't go out, the people don't know you're there. So gradually you settle down and you're happy in the workplace and happy in the home and the society. But still be remember always good time, bad time. So when you have a good time, you enjoy it. And when you have bad time, don't give up. Because good and bad thing always come together. And sometimes the end of the tunnel is light coming. So enjoy a good time and never give up in a bad time because good time is coming to you. Thank you very much. This is any questions. I think good timing. We have 9 minutes for questions. Here is my email and also the website, I think, and on the QA, and you can go there to join a SIGIE and also branch. And any questions? And I'll hang back to you, and Dominic.
Thank you very much, Joy, for entertaining us for, I think it was about 50 minutes. I think we've got quite a lot of people who are very, very interested in this topic. And I think it's so important that you reminded us about the journey that we've done, because all of us who have immigrated, we've done something very, very difficult, something that people in this country who've stayed here all their lives haven't done. So our experiences are unique, and it is good that we have someone that we can share that with. So thank you for your passion, not only about immigrating to New Zealand, but I think general being a professional person, specifically being a professional engineer. So thank you very much for that. One of the things that I've often experienced coming in New Zealand is that coming from a German background, where people are very straightforward with their comments, are that they are very, very polite in this country, and sometimes it's difficult to extract. You have to ask quite a few follow-up questions about certain meanings sometimes. That was my experience. People don't seem to be very straightforward here in some of their feedback, because you mentioned feedback for quite some time and how important it was. So I think all of us have got slightly different experiences. So it's really good to hear your version, your stories of that. We do have a couple of questions, I think. I see one question here. How can I find good technical mentors? For example, I work in the building services, electrical, and as an immigrant engineer, where can I find someone who can help and support me in my career? That might be quite specific, depending on where you work, but I don't know, Joy, if you have maybe some general good advice for that.
Yes, very good question, actually. And the Engineering New Zealand, they have 34 now groups, and each group, they have technical expertise. So if you are doing building industry, and they can join the group related to your discipline. And you can join SIGIE, us, and we have people in the building industry in our committee as well, can guidance to which group you can join and who you can talk to. And lots in professionals and the seniors in New Zealand, they love to help the people below. So join with SIGIE and send us an email in what kind of discipline you want to connect to, what kind of group you want to join to. So Rebecca is not here. She's the manager for Engineering New Zealand and manages all the technical groups. So we are special interest group for immigrant engineers, and anyone here you can contact. We can direct to right direction, connect with your associate group.
Yeah, they can certainly help in their career, but I think also in your specific organization, if you find someone that holds perhaps a position where you say that's something we'd like to go to, ask that person for assistance if that's possible. And often they are very happy to share their points. Simple things like, what do they study, what other courses do they do, whether they get their experience from, what sort of decision-making processes do they follow, sort of have that sort of mentoring role, perhaps, to help you in your career. I think that's also quite important if you can find such a person, but sometimes they aren't actually very easy to find either. But yeah, it's always a bit of a challenge sometimes. And the next question is around recommending specific websites to look for jobs in New Zealand. I think you mentioned Seek and LinkedIn. I know Engineer New Zealand has a few jobs themselves sometimes on the website that have come to Engineering New Zealand. So is there anything else you'd like to mention regarding that?
Yes, and the company and a search for bigger and our SIGIE website have lots of link and to different in our organization and the include SIGIE and other recruitment. And also, if you know the bigger companies and lots of companies or government, go to their home website. They always have vacancies there too. Yeah.
But I find specifically in New Zealand, it is often, if you've got a friend or a relation or established a contact already, and you voice your opinion about a change that you'd like to make, often people are very helpful in helping you, to guide you in a way, and saying, oh, I can speak to this person for you, or I can introduce you. A lot of jobs seem to be going in this kind of way, not only the very formal, structured way of recruitment agents, for example.
Yes, they are even not really published. They just referral is very important in New Zealand, and you know the person, you send a CV and a referral to the company is very important. Yeah, that's network.
Yeah, absolutely. The third question was more around a comment, actually. Many thanks to you, Joy, for sharing the great presentation that you've got. I joined a similar one delivered by you 2 years ago, but I learned something new from this time. Definitely continuous learning is essential to our career and personal development. Can't agree more that health and happiness is the key to sustainable living. So I think that's a really nice summary, isn't it, Joy?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's no other further questions. So I don't know, yeah, maybe because we have 2 more minutes left, maybe I can just share how I find my job in New Zealand.
Yes.
I found it on LinkedIn. So one of the profiles that you mentioned as well, in the fact that when we wanted to immigrate here, we've had our medicals and all the other requirements that we've submitted in Wellington. And I started to search for to connect with people in New Zealand that perhaps were in industries where I could fit in. And I probably send out 100 requests for connections, and most people just clicked them away or ignored me, or possibly clicked yes, but didn't bother, except one person. And he asked me, why are you connecting to me? You don't even know me. Are you looking for a job by any chance? Because I'm looking for a process engineer. So often it is those kind of small things that then it led me then to an interview and to coming to New Zealand. So, yeah.
You just need a one, actually.
Yes, correct. You just need one person to take an interest and say, I need someone. And I think especially in New Zealand, because it's a small community, and people are very concerned about finding the right and the best person for a job. They are, they really want to find the best person, and they are very interested in people and their attributes and what they can bring to the table.
Fantastic. Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't,
so.
I think, in some countries, it feels like sometimes you're just a number because there's so many and you're competing all the time. And in New Zealand, it feels like, especially in the engineering field, that your skill is really needed, and therefore you're so much more appreciated for what you can bring to the table.
Indeed. And also that's I talk about so much about the soft skill. And with my year of hiring, and I found so many organizations and looking for soft skill. And I was host one of an event, and last week, and I said, ask the one present, I said, if the person have good technical skill, soft skill bit weak or good soft skill, so the person says straight away, I want to hire a person have good soft skill, I can train up, particularly for younger ones. And that's why, because the soft skill is really the way to work, it is a way help you grow, and particularly a way to work with a team. So that's really key thing. So very good. We are just on the time.
Just on time.
Yeah,
no further questions. So thank you very much for Engineering New Zealand to give us this platform to share our stories, and specifically to you, Joy, for today, for giving a presentation, sharing your stories, and providing us with some guidance of how to improve ourselves and our happiness in this country. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
If there's further interest, then also please let Joy know, or Engineering New Zealand, and perhaps we can do this again sometime.